Today we are on our way to that big estate sale in Baraboo. That makes it sound like that big estate sale in Baraboo in the sky. Which, hopefully that's not the case. Good Lord. Don't want to jinx that now. But anyway, we got to stop at the post office first to mail off the stuff that I packed up yesterday.
Much and more then, stuff than I thought.
Yes. Oh, great. Now the road to the post office is closed.
And someone's doing something.
Someone was doing roller skating tricks and they fell on their face just there. I had the camera facing the complete wrong way for all of that. Anyway, sorry, we're taking a different route now. So it's going to be like an hour-long drive up to Baraboo. And we'll see what the thing is like. Yeah, it's up. Okay. It's northern Wisconsin from where we are. So we'll see what that's going to be like, and we're on our way to do that. All right, so we made it to Baraboo, and it is out on a country road, a one-lane country road here. We're clearly not the only people that saw this because we're parked like way down the road. We're like, as we're pulling up, I'm wondering where the hell are we going to go? And it just seems everybody's parking on the side of this country road here. I'll show you in a minute, but it does not feel like we're supposed to be parking here, but there's just a row of cars that goes on for quite a while. I'm not even sure where the house is yet that we're going down, and it's out in the woods there. Not sure where the house is yet, though. It must be back in there. Oh, yeah, there's the driveway.
That's not too bad.
No, all right. Still a lot of cars. So I got no footage from the inside of the place because as we were walking up, I saw people leaving with specifically things that I wanted to get. So it was like, all right, let's get in there and get the stuff while we can. It was pretty packed. We ended up grabbing a bunch of books and stuffed toys. One of the things we saw that we missed out on was this an old Garfield lunchbox that I had when I was in like 5th grade or 4th grade. But little girl was walking out with it. What am I going to do? Like, hey.
Could have tackled her.
That's true. But it's like, oh, darn it. Little girl got the lunchbox. She's going to enjoy it like a regular person rather than a old man like me going, I had that when I was a kid. I still want to stop and get some lunch and one more coffee.
Hell yeah.
But it was really hot in there. It's still really hot. I have the air conditioning on so you can kind of hear it in the background, but we're going to turn that up in a sec. But first, let's look around for a restaurant and also trying to get out of this 2-lane traffic that's going on here. All right, we're stopping to get some coffee and stuff. We looked around for a place and ended up just at a Panera. We're in Wisconsin Dells. It is weird here. I'll show you some more footage of that in a second. Like, there's a dinosaur in that gas station over there.
Which is awesome. Right?
Which is awesome. But at the same time, that's just like a very slight version of half the stuff that's around here. It's a very touristy area. I said it's like living in a cartoon. As we were having lunch outside can I still see the dinosaur? It's better. Outside the dinosaur place, and we were talking about just all the weird stuff around here. I personally would like to try living here because it would be like being in a Pee-wee's Playhouse or a cartoon. And she's like, I would get old soon. I don't think it would. It's like a cartoon land with crime, and I was like, I wonder if there's a Goodwill around here. There is not. But then we found out that there's a St. Vincent de Paul around here. So we're going to look and see what that's like. So we're going to check that out. It's like 3 miles away from where we are. Yeah, I'm curious too. Hopefully it's not going to be a huge letdown. I like how all of today has been like, now that we said it, it's going to be let down, or hopefully nothing will happen. So far everything's been good. See, now I said that. Okay, we didn't get more than a block before we realized the jerky store. So we're going to go into a jerky store. Also, there's a whole thing with polar bears and ice caps and stuff behind us too. town, and now we're at the St. Vincent de Paul, which is right outside of town. We got to go through the whole Main Street thing. I was just telling Mary Joy, I'm like, you know, the way this year has been, I haven't really felt like it's summer yet. And then driving through that, it felt really summer-like, and watching the people out there. But normally we would have stopped and like hung around and checked out stuff, but it's like, it's just, I don't know, it's just not worth the risk right now, I suppose. Now we're at the St. Vincent de Paul up here in the Wisconsin Dells, and we're gonna go check out and see what this is like, although it's kind of just a metal shed.
Could be great.
Could be great though. Oh yeah, there's some stuff in the window. Well, check it out. So we're in the toy section at least. We've only just made it down here, and we've already got a whole basket full of stuff. And we're just now getting to the toy section.
So far, it's been kind of wonderful.
There's this cool Garfield thing, but they want $6.95 for it. And it's from '81. This is Born to Party. I gotta look at these. Nah. Alright, I gotta dig through some more stuff. I just wanted to point out this is the most brilliant thing I've seen in my life. Barbie dolls separated in like bottle cases. It makes so much sense when you see it. We got a big box of stuff right there. That was basically a good store. We now have another place that's out of town that's going to be like, we know that that's a good one. Yeah. They had a whole section just filled with like Mickey and Garfield. Like, today's been a Garfield heavy day. This day has almost been to the point where I'm going, there's too much stuff. Like, I was almost to the point where I was like going, okay, enough with the good things we're finding already. Like, we need to move on. But moving on to where? We were at the place we were moving on to. Now we're going to drive home and take a look at what we got. So I got a pair of shoes. We went through there and I found a pair that I liked. And it was between two of them. There was like, I either want these ones or these ones. And I decided I wanted to go for a solid color one instead of a two-tone color one. It was a set of Vans. And literally the only size they didn't have was mine. So I went up front and I asked the guy, do you guys have any of the shoes in the back? Like, you know, is it anything like that? And they said, no, everything is out in the open. We don't have anything in the back. And I'm like, all right. So I had to reluctantly choose the second choice ones, right? And then,
which is the same style.
They were just two-tone.
Right.
But the funny part is I knew this was going to happen, so I was prepared for it. But they did the normal questions that they do where they say, did you find everything okay today? And I had just gotten done talking to the guy and asked him if they could find anything, because they didn't. And I was like, no, I didn't.
You were just really blunt.
Well, because it was funny. It was like, I just spoke to you. I mean, I was very lighthearted about it, but I knew he was going to ask the question just because it's a force of habit. So I was waiting for him. I'm like, no, I didn't. These aren't the shoes I wanted. These are my second choice. I said, they're fine, but like, what are you going to do? You just told me that you don't have any other ones. So, and then they said they could order them for me. Of course you can. I can order them for me online. I need a pair of shoes now. I have a structured settlement and I need cash now. I'm going to go over this quickly because there's just so much stuff that we got from that thing. So I'm just going to start picking them up and showing them to you. This is just one box of... I've got like 5 bags over there. It's crazy. So first, this is from the St. Vincent de Paul. It is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Trouble pop-up game. So, you know, I'll give you trouble, but it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. An entire set of Smurf glasses from 1983. So we've got Handy Smurf, Harmony Smurf, 2 Baker Smurf glasses, another Harmony Smurf, Clumsy Smurf, and another Clumsy Smurf. So these were promotional glasses from I want to say McDonald's, but they were just Smurf glasses. Mickey Mouse jelly jars, vintage illustrated children's books. This box alone is from St. Vincent de Paul. So there's that. Dumbo from the 80s, Cinderella from the 80s, a vintage Jungle Book from, I believe, the 70s, a whole lot of vintage illustrated books from the 60s and 70s. I can't remember if I mentioned this or not, but we spent a total at both the estate sale and St. Vincent de Paul of $200. So that's $200 worth of stuff. These books alone will make that back. And I've only gotten into the first box. Here's 2 of the bags from the estate sale. That was brilliant. 3 shag pillows with Bert, Ernie, and Big Bird. Yes. A giant 1970s Garfield with tail. I've never seen one where he stands. He's usually always doing the usual sitting thing. I've never seen one where they did him up like walking about. This is probably the largest Garfield I've ever seen. Arthur and DW from the Arthur cartoons, still with the tags. And those are from the mid-90s. 2 more bags. As I said, there was a lot of Garfield themed stuff. This one, they were upset that it was priced for what it was because it still also had the tag on it. And this is from the 70s. He's got a 30-pound ball for some reason, and it says Gutterball Garfield. Oh, he's bowling. Scan, which is a split-second matching game from the 70s. Scan. Winner Spinner. It just looked like a fun, like 60s children's game. Ring Toss. Just another really retro-y looking game. I mean, illustration alone, I liked it. So again, we went for the illustrated children's books. Got this giant Richard Scarry collected hardcover. I got some Winnie the Pooh, some Snoopies, this giant Peter Pan activity book that was unused. Neat. And then like Disney books and other tip-top books that we've done well with in the past. Apparently all of these I pulled up backwards. But yeah, Roy Rogers activity books, another press-out book, and a Winnie the Pooh one. And these are all just, I got them for the illustrations and just cool artwork. Mask books. They're tied together with, they're just like illustrated card books that are tied together with a bow. These were actually, while I was checking out, there was a whole other shelf of books that I hadn't seen yet. So then I had to go through those while we're checking out, waiting. We already had an armload of stuff, and I ended up finding more while we were checking out. So good layout on their part. 2 more bags. Again, Garfield. This one is actually like a homemade one, but this looks like something I made when I was a kid. Like this is the way I drew them. You just kind of drawing them too slender. It's hard to say, but it's like a coat rack. They also had a bunch of like collected books. Like here's a bunch of Beetle Baileys from the newspaper comics in paperbacks. Flintstones, this one's drawn all over, but I mean, I'll keep this for myself. I really liked this. It's a collection of their newspaper comics that you never really saw much of. There was a whole bookshelf of choose your own adventure books from the 80s. The choose your own adventure books were. So these are only a few of them. I looked on the shelf and I was like, holy crap, everybody likes these. At the St. Vincent de Paul, both me and Mary Joy looked at these. We both, I think everyone I knew had these bowls when they were growing up in the 80s. Like looking at this bowl makes me want to eat peanut butter Captain Crunch in a big bunch of milk. Like this is every Saturday morning, me and my sister would fill one of these up and watch cartoons. Another old Boggle game with a cover I've never seen before. I told you I got some illustrated books from there, right? Yes, I did. An old Mickey Mouse milk glass mug, and this one's from 1980. This was part of that whole section in St. Vincent de Paul. 2 more bags. This Garfield is also from the 70s, but again, with the whole I didn't see a theme thing, I actually kind of like him with the big ears, but here he is as the Easter Bunny. I dig the ears. An old Tasmanian Devil, an old Curious George, a children's book doll. So there's Geppetto, here's Geppetto's story. Pull his face down, it's Pinocchio. There's Pinocchio's story. Pull his face down, there's Jiminy Cricket. There's Jiminy Cricket's story. Get it? So that's neat. Ha! I was hoping we grabbed these. New Kids on the Block trading cards, each one of the members. And I think that's everything. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, so that was, I mean, look at this. So this was $200. And I'm gonna start posting these today. So we spent $100 last week, $200 this week. Just a little insight onto a way to have fun and still kind of help support myself. And this is, I don't know, I love this stuff. I actually hate it when I watch back these videos and I'm like, oh, I had to get rid of that thing. That's the only downfall of this whole thing. But now, I'm gonna look at a few of these books and then I gotta list these or else really defeats the purpose.